So here I am at Comic Con 2011. You guys are easy to find.
Oh my God, Crafty, your video is awesome. Crafty.
I'm getting mobbed. What you up to? Causing mayhem and destruction?
I'm being bad again.
Look how big it is. We got people selling toys, we got people selling comics, we got people selling DVDs, we got all these weird costumes, but I don't give a shit about any of that. I'm here for one thing only, the artists. So let's go to the artists. One of the best series ever conceived. Hey look, it's a Matt Busch.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Right now I'm with Matt Busch and he's going to tell us all about his stuff.
Hi, I'm Matt Busch and I'm going to tell you all about my stuff. Basically, I'm an artist, but of all different mediums. Most people know me for the work that I do for Star Wars. I do illustrations, but also I've broken into doing like a little bit of animation, a little bit of filmmaking, and basically if it's art, if it's music, any way to express myself, then I enjoy it, and I'm really into it. The most recent thing that I've done is called Hollywood is Dead, where I take classic movie posters, these great images I grew up with as a kid, and I just slaughter them and just make them bloody and zombified. And everyone loves zombies now. Everything is all zombies, so it seems to be going over well. Some people don't like the the blood vomit, but it's love. It's zombie love. What are you gonna do? I don't know why, but everyone keeps seeing the Twilight one that I did, and everyone keeps saying, now this would have been a good movie.
How long have you been doing art professionally?
Oh my gosh. You know what? There was never an overnight thing where I was, a fanboy, and then the next day, guess what? I'm professional now. It's been a long, hard road. You start by illustrating shirts for local bands. You start doing stuff around town, and then eventually you're doing shirts for Ozzy Osbourne and Jessica Simpson and Billy Joel and Beastie Boys and all kinds of fun stuff. But it starts off small, and eventually you get cool little benchmarks on the way, and things happen. One of the big things that I'm starting to jump onto now is kind of moving away from paper, things like books and comic books and prints and posters, which is all cool, and I'll still do that as long as it's around. But right now I'm jumping into doing apps and video games for iPads, iPhones, and that sort of thing, and having a blast with it. I think it's kind of the next thing, I have to ask myself, 5 years from now, are people going to be reading books, or are they going to be using their iPads and their Kindles and all that stuff? People say, oh, books will always be around. Yeah, that's probably what people said about scrolls too. Oh, people, books aren't going to totally take. People love turning their scrolls and reading them this way. Yeah. There's no way that books are going to completely dominate the market. And times are changing quick, so I'm trying to stay on top of it. I just heard that a month ago, the very last company that makes typewriters in the world closed its doors. You can't even get a brand new typewriter anymore. That's a thing of the past, So it's
paper companies themselves are actually losing out on a lot of money for print.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. It's becoming harder and harder. We've gotten, especially with post-PC devices, it's really gotten not only as interesting as to read an actual comic book, it's almost more fun. Like, I don't know if you've checked out like Marvel Comics app. You can get comic books for free, and the way that you zip from panel to panel, it's almost more cinematic. It almost feels more like you're watching a movie or watching something animated than it does when you're reading the comic book, but yet you're still reading it at your own pace. It's almost like you're directing it yourself. So I think it's fun. I think it's really cool. And one of the neat things about like making your own comics online is even if the comics are free, you can still sell merchandise. And that's where people make the most of their money anyway. So you make the comics free, you deliver your art to the world, and then you sell t-shirts, you sell bumper stickers, you sell hats, you do the whole thing. And if it's good, people will love it. People will want the merchandise. They'll want the teddy bears. They'll want the, you know, whatever it is. So all right, so this is my iPad. This is interactive sketchbook. This is the cover screen. So there's a lot of different things you can do. First of all, you can go through the tutorials. You can pick one of these to go through. So basically you can go through the steps. If you ever don't know what any of this is, like why are we drawing a circle here? You press the information button, oh, and guess what? You can read what that is. That's actually the cranium. You start drawing that over here. You go through all the steps, and eventually what happens is you get to the final piece. And again, anything that you want to know what it's about or whatever, you can hit the information button. There's different layers that you can draw with. It's pretty wild. So then, in addition to just learning how to draw, you also can draw your own material. So if you go to sketch, okay, so you're drawing over here, right? So here's what you can do that's really wild. You can import your own reference from your photo libraries. So let's say we go here and I want to draw this girl right here. I can go through, I've got the sketch layer, the detail layer, the tone layer. I can draw all this in here. But let's say you want to use this almost like a projector and you want to trace. You can take this binder right here and you slide it right over, and guess what? You're drawing on top of your photo reference. If you ever want to look at it without, I didn't do a very good job tracing it just there, but you can actually use it, and if you want to see it side by side again, there it is. And guess what? You can pinch and zoom anywhere that you want. If you want to get in really close to the eye, to draw the eye over here, there you go. So this is like the latest thing. And then of course, from there, what you can do is all of the art that you create, you put in your portfolio. And so I've got pages and pages of different artwork. This right here, there's a sketch I did of, this is me and my fiance. These are our puppets. So I did this really cool drawing of them. Then you can email them to your friends. You can save it in your photos. You can post it on your Facebook, and you can share them forever. Here's the greatest thing about interactive sketchbook. Guess what? You never run out of paper, ever. You get interactive sketchbook, you will never buy a sketchbook again. It's awesome.
So I guess final word, do you have any advice for any budding artists out there?
I do. You know what? Keep at it. Stay with it, regardless of you know what it is you're going into. Whatever you want to do, you know, make your dreams come true. Stay with it and investigate. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't have the internet and that sort of thing. We had to do as much research as we could in a library. And for this area, there aren't, you know, really books on how to make it as a pop culture artist. Yeah. So we had to figure out, you know, make a lot of mistakes. But now everything is online. You've got the world at your fingertips. There's so many neat things that you guys can do. You guys don't even realize you have all this information at your fingertips. A lot of people say now's not a good time to get into this stuff. I say there's never been a better time to do what you want, to make your dreams happen. You know, someone in their camcorder and a laptop can make the next blockbuster of next year. You know, where, oh my God, going to film school before, all that stuff, it was ridiculous expensive. Now anyone can do it. If you have an idea and a dream and you've got the wherewithal to actually go after your goals, you can do it. My heart is broken. I'm officially a jerk. You know why? About a half hour ago, this little cute kid dressed up as Buzz Lightyear, he sees my Toy Story piece from across the aisleway, thinks it's Toy Story. Cute little kid dressed up as Buzz Lightyear comes running up, and instantly tears just down his face. His face turns red. He starts crying looking at the zombified Buzz Lightyear. I'm such a jerk. I feel awful.